week in and week out. I really like what I'm seeing thus far.
You know, Dak Prescott's been interesting. I said in basketball and soccer, you can see greatness at 12 years old because in basketball, I could walk by a playground, your vertical, your ball skills, and I could say, well, that's a great player. You can't block yourself in a park. You can't throw the ball and catch it in a park. So with football, so much of it is how do you fit? What is your coaching? There's a lot of great players. I mean, I work with you at ESPN. Teddy Bruschi was a great player, but if you walk by Teddy Bruschi, you didn't look at him and go, that's one of the greatest defensive players ever, right? Like, there's so many components to it. And so with Dak in football, I do believe you can grow into greatness.
Yes.
You know, Brady. And I look at Dak, and I've got to be honest with watching Dak this year, whether it's confidence, whether it's the second year, but he does look better today than he did a year and a half ago. That's what my eyes tell me. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. Look, for years since Dak's come in the league, this team was Zeke's offense. It was basically centered around Ezekiel Elliott, the running game, and they tried to bludgeon you with the running game to set up the passing game. That's all over with. It's now Dak's offense, and it's Dak's team, period. And they're going to rely on his arm and his decision-making to get the wins moving forward. And I look at it as, when I look at Dak week in and week out, you're starting to see him grow. You start him take on the onus. It's not about Zeke. It's not about that running game. And he has weapons on the outside, Colin. He has Amari Cooper, where a lot of people take shots at. Amari Cooper's still a dynamic route runner. CeeDee Lamb, the young kid who's a dog on the outside. You got Schultz stepping up at the tight end position. You got so many weapons at your Tony Pollard coming in to relieve Zeke. They have so many weapons on the perimeter that can hurt you. And Dak is taking on the onus. Like, he understands, this is my team now. You know, I love Zeke, best friend, but we're going to win or die. We're going to win or lose by the way I play the game. And I think the team as a whole has accepted that. And this is his second year in Mike McCarthy's offense, and you're starting to see him grow, make decisions at the line of scrimmage, and make plays down the field with his arm.
So I was saying last night with Joe Burrow, and when he came out, my comp was, I said, he reminds me a little of Tony Romo. He moves well. He's got a good arm, not great. He's got a little confidence with him. He's going to win a lot of games. And I defended, as you know, I think we both defended Tony Romo for 8 years.
Oh, yeah, ever, yeah. I was his defense attorney for the longest, yes. Yeah.
And I watched Burrow, and I said, you know what I really am worried about? The Bengals. He's already been hurt once. Yeah. They don't have a real GM. I don't know if Zach's good, the coach. He could be. He's not Freddie Kitchens bad, but he's not Sean McVay. I got to tell you, Darren, when I watch Burrow, man, there's a lot there. Like, he is, I mean, what do you, I just look at him and I think that kid could do anything as long as he gets a great coach. What do you see?
Yeah. Look, I think he's mature beyond his years. The kid gets it. Like, you always talk about professionals that just get it. Not only on the field, but off the field. You know, he says the right things. He carries himself the right way. He's a true leader, similar to a lot of ways that Dak carries himself. But there's an extreme confidence with this kid. And I think Joe Burrow is one of those guys that, somewhat like Brady, he never feels like he's out of it. He always feels like he has a chance. And he's forever optimistic with the guys that are in front of him. He's going to uplift and make his team better. And I'm not saying that about all the quarterbacks around this league. I've seen veteran quarterbacks. It's doom and gloom. Things start to go wrong. The body language changes. You never see that with Joe Burrow. It's always on a positive side. Hey, we'll get better. And there's a part of an extreme ownership part that plays in to Joe Burrow. He's not afraid to say, it's on me. I made the mistake. I did this wrong. And he's a firm believer in the guys around him. I think he's going to uplift this team, this talent around him. You're right, though. It's up to the coaching staff, to ownership, to surround him with the right people around him for him to expect greatness.
So you won 3 Super Bowls, and I want to talk about the year after the Super Bowls because and you had Jimmy Johnson and Brady had Belichick, and I'm watching Tampa, so they're off a Super Bowl, and it's a losing culture. And then Tom takes a losing culture, makes it a winning culture. I don't worry about the offense stepping back because Tom's going to drive that. But the defense is not playing the same level. And everybody got paid. And everybody's got a car dealership that's paying them in town. And they're going to write a book. And I do watch Tampa's defense, Darren, and they're playing like they just won a Super Bowl. And it's easy when you're in Dallas, and suddenly everybody knows Darren Woodson.
Yeah.
Did you feel after championships, sometimes it's the curse of winning? Could you kind of sense it the year after?
Absolutely. You start to be a fat cat, and that's what you're getting to. Yeah, you're a fat cat. You've had some success, and now I've made it. And there's so many more distractions that come involved. Yeah, Michael Irvin always had the distractions, Emmitt Smith and the Troy Aikmans, but now you're getting the guys on the peripheral, on the defensive side of the ball, the special teamers who are out, have their own radio shows and all that.
Yeah.
There's a lack of focus that does happen after the Super Bowl because that's that Super Bowl hangover. I still believe in this defense, though. I still think that this defense is talent-wise one of the better defenses in the league. They can stop you in the running game. They're dynamic with the pass rush. They've had some injuries. Pierre hasn't been out there. They've had some situations. They went on the road to an LA Rams team, which is a very good football team, and they gave some points. I still believe in this team. I still think this is the front runner to win the Super Bowl all over again. And I think the defense will step up as the season goes on, and we start having all these critics, and we start having people throw bullets at them. They're going to step up and make some plays, and they'll be right back in the mix.
Yeah, JPP, by the way, is not just a small subtraction. He is a great football player. The Darren Woodson Show, multiple Pro Bowler, semifinalist, Hall of Famer, 3 rings. Great seeing you, man. You look fantastic. I'm happy for your success.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Call me up sometimes, Colin.
All right.
Come back on.
All right, Darren Woodson. Good dude. So, listen, I